I'm sure you keep hearing people talk about how you can heal your gut naturally without antibiotics. And I'm here to say that it looks like I'm doing it. In this episode, I want to talk about my 1 year gut health comparison. I've already paid for 2 of these gut tests, 2 different companies, and I'll talk about those. But the first one actually fixing food allergies, which is why I'm 100% sold on all this microbiome and getting gut health tested. I'll show you how I cleared up what started with an H. pylori infection a year ago and reverse some of those food sensitivities or allergies, improve my digestion, and circling back a year later, taking another test, improving my digestion, which I didn't know I had a problem with, which is why you need to listen to this episode. And I'll share you what I did, the exact foods and protocols that are working, and also what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 months before I take my next gut health test. Let's dive in. Real quick, my SKOOL community is ever growing. Check out the link in the show notes. It's where I'm spending all my time with my audience. It's basically a community much like Facebook groups, but a lot more interactive. We have coffee chats. I'll be doing Q&As pretty soon, as well as having other like-minded over 40 people who are interested in, rapid weight loss, longevity, new tech trends coming out. So it's not just me in there. And get in while you can before I hit my first 100 people, because after that, I will be charging to new people only. So let's get on with the episode. All right, so I just got back my tiny health gut report, and I wanted to show you the comparison of my original gut health report that I did a year ago through a company called Diagnostic Solutions. They're just a testing lab, and then used my DPC doctor to interpret the info. This report made it very simple. My original problem last year was having an H. pylori infection. I decided to, instead of ruining my microbiome with a bunch of antibiotics, I was pretty much pain-free at that point from the H. pylori infection I had from a food poisoning incident. I decided to do the gut test because I wanted to see what everything else was doing and heal it naturally with supplements, which I did in less than 2 months, and had a whole slew of problems gone of food allergies, including chicken and egg, which were new ones from that exact infection last year. But I also had a beef, a shrimp, gluten issues that were also taken care of from using these supplements. And the only thing I was left with was my harshest one, milk protein, which will actually put me in anaphylaxis. And that one is still there. So didn't do everything. But anyways, this is complicated, but just a 6-page report on my gut biome of last year. And all that matters when I was talking to my doctor was right there at the top. If you can see that H. pylori is not supposed to be that high, and that was because of the food poisoning. And then this chart showing all your bacterias, all the different main ones, I guess, that Diagnostic Solutions cares about. And really the only ones I cared about right here at the bottom under bacterial phyla were the top 2. I can't even pronounce these, but Bacteroidetes and Firmicutes is my best guess. And those were extremely high. Asking ChatGPT what's going on with those. The first one, Bacteroidetes, help break down complex carbs and protein, which is what my doctor said at the time. And having a problem with doing that, which is not good because the whole thing I'm trying to do is put on muscle, and I take in a lot of protein. So this was a little concerning that I'm taking in all this protein and my body can't even digest it. I do use digestive enzymes, so hopefully that helped. But you also thought that me taking digestive enzymes this whole time would have shown up on this report and showing that I had a capability of breaking these down. And then the next one, the Firmicutes, is important for fermenting fibers, taking all this digestive fiber like psyllium husk, and also knowing that my body's not really doing what it needs to do with that. So those were my first 2 issues that I needed to check up on again. And I had it in my wish list to do this again. And lo and behold, Tiny Health came around, and I'm actually having them on my podcast soon. They seem to be way above the rest of the companies out there with their AI, their gut health report. Let me show you what that looks like. This was a way more comprehensive report, 29 pages. I'll try to go through this really quickly. Basically, I got a score of 83, which tells me I did a lot better in my last test. I have a problem with short-chain fatty acids and digestion absorption markers. That same bacteria from my original report is on this report. And on this Tiny Health for Bacteroidetes, I definitely came in under the red flags, even though it's hard to tell from their report. They don't really have a red zone. Some things have a yellow zone or nothing. Some have a green, some have a red. But I already asked ChatGPT too, what did it look like? And it seemed to know how to read this report, and basically saying that now I'm definitely digesting protein and carbohydrates better. Still have a problem with the fermenting of the fiber. So what do I do with that information? I've still yet to have my consult with Tiny Health to tell me what's going on. I threw both those gut health reports in ChatGPT and just wanted to get a head start on this, and asked it to compare the 2, told me I was doing better on the protein, not the greatest on the fermenting of the fiber. and then giving me a plan of either whole foods or supplements, and seeing how the supplements were going to cost a lot. And it would only shave 2 weeks off of potentially fixing my gut with these issues and leveling off all these different bacteria strains. So I went with the food route. As you can see, I also asked for a keto-friendly option because I don't do a lot of carbs. Those of you who listen to me a lot know that it's weekend fun. That's where I put all my carb tokens in. So it was real specific on the type of vegetables, and I could pretty much do all the vegetables it offered. The different carbohydrates it wanted me to have, like potatoes, green bananas, that kind of stuff. There was the supplement version of it, which has a little bit of carbs, but a lot less. So it asked for raw potato starch and green banana flour to help with specific bacteria. Other than that, garlic, asparagus, onion, sauerkraut, spinach, mushrooms, olive oil, and lemon zest, which I have been doing in a new tea I've been using. So really the only things I had to add to the program that I normally wouldn't were asparagus and the two starches, green banana flour and raw potato starch. For polyphenols, gut support, I do berries. I've been taking green tea. I do all the cabbage. So basically dark chocolate, I guess, would be one to add to this program. And then because I refused to eat beans or lentils, too many carbs for my keto diet, it gave me the supplement GOS prebiotic powder. And that's the whole thing of why you do these gut tests. Taking a probiotic that you just find from the store, they're all different. You don't even know which ones you're doing. It could be inflaming certain bacteria or taking away from certain ones or just messing everything up. It's better just to do what you do, go get tested, then you know where you're falling short. And then just like I did, you'll find the things that you're willing to put in and hopefully more naturally with food. So I had to supplement with this GOS prebiotic, and it was very targeted to solving an issue I had with this fermented fiber problem. So as you can see right here, I asked ChatGPT, how long to fix the issue if I went supplement route. It was so great last year when I took just supplements and wiped out all those food allergies. It gave me a timeline of 2 to 3 weeks noticeable change, and then to completely fix everything, it seemed like 3 months. And then for the food only strategy, it was 3 to 4 weeks to see initial and most improvements, and to fully do everything, it was going to take 4 months. And the cost of taking all the supplements was astronomical compared to just simple food choices. So on this one, I decided to go the food route. So that's kind of my game plan right now. I don't really have any gut issues. This is all biohacking at this point. And my consult with Tiny Health is in about 2 months. I'll probably be that much closer to fixing everything, just for them to put their comments on everything I did wrong. Who knows? Part of this program was that you get 2 tests. So proof's in the pudding. So when I take another test in 6 months from whatever I do now and after this consult, I'll be able to show proof from this newest test to the one a year ago. I'm doing way better. And when it all comes down to it, how do I feel right now getting that 80% score on Tiny Health's gut health? I'm already close to single digit body fat. I feel great. And 80 to 85% of all the effort I do is pretty much just diet, insulin, and fasting or intermittent fasting, and a little extra sleep. So all the stuff I'm doing is basically just to fine tune all the biohacking stuff to get to that 100% if it's even possible. So don't think that I don't care about that stuff. It's just I've already pretty much mastered it, and we all get bored, right? So I'm super into this biohacking stuff, low level and safe, and I always run it by my doctors just to see if I can't help other problems I'm having. Like, it'd be nice to be a little bit more energetic, a little extra libido for the men out there, right? We always want to feel like we're in our 20s, our skin health and whatnot, and add gut health to the program too. Why not? Probably for the next podcast, so I'll go back to basics with weight training and diet stuff. That's the bulk of what everyone needs help with, so I'll keep pounding away at that. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you